Before the video starts, I want to give a quick shout out to this video. It's actually a very fun one to make, and I hope you watch all of it and make it all the way to the end. It's really enjoyable. A side note, I'm nearly at 3k, so if you can subscribe that would help, but when I hit to 3k I'm going to do a live stream, and that will be on my channel, and there will be an announcement on it on my channel. I want to see as many people there as possible. Let's get into the video. Welcome back to a new video, and indeed another dumb ass video, but this should be fun nonetheless. I am going to attempt to cover the map in bananas, and you might be asking why, and that's because no real reason, but I thought it could be quite cool. Now, the general plan for this, as soon as I start the game, the general plan for this actually is quite simple. Now, bananas come out farms at a good rate, so we're going to need to use the fastest banana farm combo. And that's actually not that difficult. The fastest banana farm combo is just a 3-0-0, because once you go up to banana research facility, they come out way less often, but they're just more valued. So we can have 3 to get the fastest bananas, and despawn the least with 2. So you have the most bananas and they despawn the least. That's a win-win. But how actually do you go about getting the most bananas on the screen? Well, that's a little bit more difficult, and for that I'm going to go to VoiceOver Naughty to help you through that. Welcome to my humble VoiceOver abode. This is where we will talk about all things banana related. Here we are monkeys and we all like bananas, so let's get started. First of all, a little side note, which actually isn't into anything that's going to be with the strategy. This took me 3 attempts, and you actually see all 3 attempts because I thought it was quite interesting. I had to struggle with farming quite a few times actually to get it right, and it's because I tried to go first time through just making all the farms and trying to farm this way, but farming this way is so bad I had to eventually switch to a normal farming method. And the reason I need money is because I need a VTSG. Now, a VTSG increases attack speed. However, I'm not 100% sure attack speed actually affects banana farming. Now, this could be false. I need someone to talk about it in the comments. But the strategy was, let's start. You have a VTSG. Right in the middle, covering loads of area, big range. We then have a Zilly who also helps attack speed to help out. And then a couple of the other bits are the village. Obviously a village is very important. Taken to a 050 or a 250 to be honest, but again I didn't know if it was actually getting me more bananas. So what was getting me more bananas, and I knew it? Well, the only thing I actually knew was getting me more bananas, even though I think these things helped, and honestly you can't really tell because most of them are getting buffed by both of them anyway, so you don't really have a comparison between not VTSG'd and VTSG'd. However, overclocks and permaclocks did help. The problem with that is I am one lone man and I needed to make bananas as fast as possible. If I were to overclock every single farm on the screen, or every single farm I could fit in, it would take me about a few hours, and also extra rounds that we do not have. I'd probably have to go to like 300, and then I'd need paragons, and that's just not going to work. So how do you actually go about doing it? If I am to overclock, and I tried to overclock multiple times myself, but I just realized it wasn't happening, I would need 3 other co-op people to, you know, they have 3 overclocks, and if they get the overclocks and leave, then I have the 3 overclocks, and then we have 4 overclocks, and I can do it all myself. 4 times faster probably makes it doable by round 200, which is the aim. The other thing to mention is, one of the big plans was to do it on like around 100. So around 100, if you don't know, it's just a Moab, and that means that the farms, because they're based on how long the round is, the farms put out everything instantly. By the way, here you'll see me fail to make a VTSG so many times, and I had to actually restart the game because the VTSG just wasn't making. I don't know why. If anyone can slow it down and tell me why, your guess is as good as mine. But along with all the balloons and all the bananas coming out at one, it actually didn't matter. And I realized this, and you'll see this by the end of the game when I actually get to as many bananas as I can get. It didn't matter because the whole round of bananas wasn't going off the screen because of the middle path where you get the two, and the first one's long life bananas. So it actually didn't matter. And I think that was kind of funny because it was one of the things that I focused on for ages, and I was going to do it around 200 because that's actually not a very long round at all, but I could do it at any round. So, I mean, that helps with the fact of, you know, not wasting 3 hours of my day, which I may have already done. So how did it go? Well, this is the final run, and as you'll see, I make money just fine, I'm beating the rounds just fine, I just needed to kill them fairly quickly and just make as much money as possible. I am able to get the VTSG, and I do start overclocking quite early. Obviously, the earlier you overclock the better because it takes time, but remembering to use your overclock every single time, and I have to do it for 10 times on each of them, and this and that, and it will be super duper painful, but I'm willing to do it. I can get 4 people about and probably try. However, I still don't know how effective it's going to be, but as you can see in the top right, they do make them pretty fast. But on top of having them overclocked, I'd need to have them like buffed permanently. I like have the overclock buff on them while they're being permaclocked 10 times. And that's a bit more tricky because I don't have the space to put down overclocks willy-nilly. Because everything's pretty much been covered by a farm, and that's the whole point of this. So let me take you to real life and the rounds I was doing everything I needed. It'll just be showing you me constantly getting as many bananas as I can on screen. And it's actually quite a lot. And you'll be able to see it now a little bit, but let's just slow it down so you can see it in real time. As you can see by definition of the challenge itself, covering the whole screen in bananas, I have failed. But that's something else to take away from this. That top right section has 4 pretty much fully overclocked 10 times. This hasn't been like recently overclocked farms, and they're not even getting VTSG buffed. Now again, it's an argument if VTSG helps because VTSG can see pretty much the whole map, but besides the point. We also have Azili's buff, which isn't really placed down very well to reach many places, so I could do a bit better there. But I'm really interested if you guys think the overclock would help and actually allow me to get full map coverage. But as you can see top right now, it is actually a full 100% coverage. If there's anything I missed, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Have fun, and peace.